angel that guides me home. So don't forget about me. You're the angel at the top.
You're listening to We Patriot Radio, produced with the partnership of Reeds Across America Radio, with a mission to remember the fallen, honor those who have served, and teach the future generations the value of freedom created by the men and women who have served our country. Currently playing on We P3 Radio, Scotti Fraser, Angel.
You're the angel at the top. You're my angel at the top of my tree.
Left, your left, hey. Left, right, your left. You got it.
Trucker. Tom Cruise, roll out. You're watching or listening to We Got Your 6 at 6 Patriot Playtime. We are We the People, the People's Patriot Project.
To put your skill set, your thoughts, and ideas, or want to help continue the mission, you have come to the right place. We are the People's Patriot Project, and we are the shock and awe when it comes to meeting the needs of our veterans and first responders. We are dealing with a new enemy in today's world where the wounds are not always seen. We want you to be a part of this mission in saving lives and making a difference. Welcome to We Got Your 6 at 6 Patriot Playtime. Here's the We P3 team bringing you today's best heroes hits in the boots on the ground organizations that are saving lives. And as always, Patriot Pride.
Left, your left, hey. Left, right, your left. You got it.
Trucker.
Good evening, Andrea Eichmann here, and I would like to welcome you to We Got Your 6 at 6 with the People's Patriot Project. Every week we are here to share with you what we are doing, what we've done, where we're going, and then we like to share our guests with you. This evening, we have got just one guest, but I do believe we're going to fill up a lot of time and space with Scotti Fraser. He's got a lot of new things to share, and we probably have to talk about some old things as well. So please welcome Scotti and hang on for some awesome conversation. Our sponsors for tonight's episode include Catch 22 with Derek Iozio. Operation Texas Strong is out there doing what they do. They are strong. Keep them in your thoughts and prayers. The Boho Hobos Hideaway with Lauren Iozio. And we have Brian Kenzer. He's with us and he supports WeP3 with his business Smart Living Today. You can reach out to him, Mr. Brian Kenzer, to discuss getting on the right side of your health, supporting American families, jobs, and the economy, and supporting the WeP3 mission. Go ahead and check it out. I am going to put a little link right in here. Brian is very knowledgeable on how to shop smartly and easily. The People's Patriot Project, We Got Your 6 at 6, can also be heard on Reads Across America Radio on Sundays at 11 p.m. Eastern Time. You can find this episode on Reads Across America Radio on the iHeart Radio app, the Odyssey app, and the TuneIn app. Just search the word Wreath and you will find it. And I want to give a little shout out to Mr. Derek Iozio, Mr. Jeremy Daniels. Thank you for being here tonight. We love having you around. I also would like to put out a big old thank you to our sponsors, our guests, and our viewers. Before we start this week's episode, we'll ask that you take off your hats, stand if you can, cover your hearts, and join us with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And we mean all.
Boom. Here we go. Here we go.
Goodness. Another week.
I do have to confess. I don't think anyone saw this error. I originally set up this episode as November 31st, and I had all the promos set for November 30th. So that's good news because we don't have to. Tomorrow's going to be November 32nd, and so that's just the way it's. No, there's no November 31st. This is December 1st, people. It is that month. The month. Stuff happens in December, doesn't it?
That's right.
Reads Across America happens in December. 2 weeks away. Boom, boom. Tick tock.
Exactly 2 weeks. It's going to be amazing.
Scotti Fraser's in the house.
How are y'all? Good to be back here again.
It's always a blessing, and it's always like it's that friend that you don't get to see for a long time, and then when they're in the room with you at the time. I mean, we've only met like physically once in our lifetime.
Right. One day. Last
year about this time. Mm-hmm. For one of your events at Saloon Door. Me and Jonathan got the chance to come down and hang out with you and your crew down there. That was pretty awesome.
It was awesome. It was really good to be with you guys in person. Yeah.
And what is this? I think the third time you've been on our show.
Yeah, I might have had an impromptu pop in the second time, and this is kind of the second kind of official capacity. But yeah, it may be 2, 3, or 4. I lost count. But it's cool. I really enjoy the show, and it feels like coming home. It feels like being with family. So, I love it.
You're appreciated, brother. Well, let's get to Scotti here in a second. I blew it last week, and I ran right over the top of Jonathan, and we forgot to do the news. So, Jonathan, it's all yours, brother.
Thank you. So December is known as the month of giving, and it revolves around people making a difference in society by helping others. Giving should not be done expecting to receive anything in return. giving does have a therapeutic effect, and based on the need of the person that you're giving to, you can actually save someone's life, give a child a Christmas, even provide food or shelter for a family. Donating and giving to charities you can trust can create a positive cycle and lead to the betterment of several individuals or families in the process. And this is Giving Month. So coming up on December 3rd, which I'm sure we will get to more, is Giving Tuesday. Whether it's donating money to a charitable cause or volunteering your time, Giving Tuesday is a day to benefit the community. There are plenty of ways to donate, including donating time and even delivering pet supplies to your local pet shelter or food and clothing to your local homeless shelter. However you choose to give, the month of December and December 3rd in particular are days set for that. Not that it should be limited to that, however. December 5th is International Volunteer Day. It is a day that recognizes the efforts of volunteers in transforming their societies, economies, and environment. On this day, members of the public focus on issues of concern in their communities. The goal is not just to get others to volunteer for one day, but to change people's mindsets, attitudes, and behaviors so they become agents of change and work as partners, helping to build a better world. And December 7th is National Pearl Harbor Remembrance Day. On this day, 1941, more than 2,400 people lost their lives during Japan's attack on Pearl Harbor. Japan wanted the Philippines as their resource zone, and they would attack Pearl Harbor in an effort to buy the necessary time that they thought it would take to capture the Philippines. The attack would have a different effect as the American people will unite in a call to war. United in a way that had yet to be seen in the modern world, Americans joined the war and would eventually lead the Allies to victory. We remember the lives of the brave men and women who sprang into action during and after a surprise attack on our home soil. We remember the lives of those who gave the ultimate sacrifice that day. That is it for the news.
Boom. Outstanding. How did we get switched up here? No one on the podcast will know what we're talking about, but it is what it is. We got to put the people where they belong. We just got to spend a chunk of our time with the people in our households. What did we get to do over the last bunches of day? Andrea, you can start.
So a house full is what it was. This is the first time in a long, I think in ever. All 11 of my grandchildren were in the same house at the same time. And we got a picture. It didn't work out well, but we got a picture of all of them. So for a minute. So all my kids and all the grandkids, my parents, everyone was there, and it was awesome.
Outstanding. Scotti, what'd you get to do?
We had a great time. We went. We live in on the edge of the big city of Houston, Texas, a very, very big city here, and we drove about an hour into the country to see some in-laws. And I got both my kids here and a grandbaby, and he's having a little rough time in the room behind the home studio right now, trying to go to sleep. So if you hear any baby noise, that's we still got our family mode going here in Texas. But we did some steak, we did some the traditional turkey and stuff like that. And my father-in-law is a Marine Corps veteran like myself, another combat vet. He did Vietnam, and it's just really good time, just that camaraderie, that brotherhood that he and I have, and just that family time. Just slowing down, resetting, and being thankful for the simple little things, just being alive and family being together.
Excellent. Mr. Jonathan.
I got to spend time with Unfortunately, not all of my family. I might have to get a bigger house for that to happen. But we had a lot of the family down. Got to spend some time with some great nieces and great nephews, and feel a little old by the end of the day. But it was, I guess, the way I described it was a full belly and a happy heart. Man, it was just, it's very heartwarming to be around family. And leading into Thanksgiving and afterwards, I had this thought, you know, when I got out of the military, I was just kind of in a different space in my head or whatever. And there was a time when I would have gladly given up all of this and just walked away and never like went and lived somewhere else and just, you know what I mean? Like, family didn't have the effect on me now that it, or the effect on me then that it does now. And so glad that a poor choice 20 years ago didn't rob me of this this joy that I get to have this weekend. So
awesome to hear, man. Peterson clan gets to do the dinner at our place. I think it happens because I'm the one that cooks and they like the food, so that's why it ends up here, I think, for the most reason, or the most. And it is what it is. I enjoy doing the cooking. What was your home run dish for your meal, Miss Eichmann?
My son Isaac did the turkey and the ham on the smoker, and he it was amazing. It was so, I think the turkey was really good, but the ham was like, I don't know, whatever he did, it turned out super great.
The ham and turkey. Scotti, the home run dish for your family.
The home run dish was my father-in-law's steak. So he's kind of a beef steak kind of guy, and we did the steak, and that for me, that was the home run and the rock and roll dish all in one.
What kind of steaks were they?
Sirloins, really nice thick sirloins, really awesome.
I heard people down in Texas don't know how to make steaks. Is that true, or is that...
Someone like me would tell you that you've lost your mind because maybe we slow cook it all like 18 hours like brisket, but there's so many cows here. I apologize if that was an aggressive.
No.
But in Texas we're pretty proud of our beef and all that, and steaks, and whether it's brisket and slow cooking or steak a little quicker. I think we do it pretty good down here. So, you know.
Okay, fair enough. And again, I'm not trying to bust anyone here or anything. I know some Texans that came to Minnesota, and I heard a story once that it was the best steaks ever ate. And I don't know what that means, but I have a hard time believing that, to be honest with you.
Well, you are a hardy bunch up there in Minnesota. You guys are a hardy bunch. You guys are like Vikings in the woods in the cold, and you probably know how to grill really well. To your credit.
On sticks. We're out there cooking on sticks.
Out in the woods with the wolves.
You laugh, but I just learned how to make bread on a stick in the woods. No joke. You mix it. I'm not going to tell you the secret, but you mix it, and then you just squish it up and put it on the end of a stick, hold it in the fire, and poof, you have bread, and you eat it right off the stick. Awesome. I mean, they did. I didn't really eat it right off the stick, but yeah, I could do it if I had to.
How about that?
John, go ahead, Jonathan. Did you have some?
No, I was just saying I've never eaten bread off a stick either, but I would definitely try it.
Jonathan, what was the home run dish down there in the crochet crew?
I smoked the ham and turkey as well.
Nice.
Probably around 8 hours on the pit. But everyone said the ham was really good. My personal favorite, I mean, it's always the ham, but we had a dish that I've never tried before this year. my mother-in-law made like this I want to say it was 3 onion or 3 cheese or potatoes or whatever. And I thought it was awesome.
That was the stuff.
So,
Everyone loves the 3-day honey brined, honey wine turkeys that I smoke. That's their thing. I did a new dish this year as well. I didn't think it was going to go over as well, and so I love the Brussels sprouts, but I kind of put it like a little like Asian flair on it with the Asian garlic sauce on it, and throw some bacon. Bacon has to be in there, and then you throw some
Absolutely.
Parmesan cheese. And I found this dish, and it's like, because everyone's got to have the sweet potatoes, and I'm not a sweet potato fan, and everyone's got to have the squash, and I'm not a squash fan. But I found this roasted vegetable dish that had all three of them together with a balsamic cranberry glaze on them and then goat cheese. And I'm like, I don't know if I'm going to be totally about this. We did it. It actually turned out pretty good. I was surprised. The yams didn't taste yummy. The squash didn't get slimy. And the Brussels sprouts, I made sure they were those nice crispy charred pieces on there. And of course, we had to have bacon in there too. That had to go. That's a necessity. Pretty good dish. I don't know if that was a home run one, but that's what we did.
You start describing your food with like the ingredient list off a menu, and I'm like, steak, potatoes, ham,
I'm getting hungry.
organic, balsamic, yada
Same.
yada yada.
Sorry. It is
No,
what I do.
it's good. It's good stuff.
Scotti Fraser. We know about you, but does the rest of the world know about you? Tell us who you are. Tell us about your service and what got you into music.
My name is Scotti Fraser, and I live in Texas. And I served in the U.S. Marine Corps in the infantry for 10 years. I left as a sergeant, as an infantry squad leader, and I served in combat operations in the Middle East, most specifically Iraq. During the push, the invasion, the initial invasion, that phase from Nasiriyah on up to Baghdad, and the very intense and graphic, visceral experiences I experienced in combat affected me to my core very, very deeply, as it does a lot of people, as you know, many phases of service. Shape a lot of people's emotions and their heart and their mind. And as I went through some battles, some PTSD battles and some things of that nature, I started to write songs and write my thoughts and my feelings and everything like that, and my story, and write it into music as a way to find my way back home. And as I started to release these songs, put them out, and on streaming platforms and perform, I noticed that a lot of other veterans and like-minded people and people who've been through trauma started resonating with the music and connecting with it, that it gave them hope and positivity. So in a nutshell, really, it's just about traveling around and doing music, releasing songs that have a positive message and try to do something hopeful for people. And now we're starting to, I built this small record label around it, and we're trying to put together programs to help other people that are struggling.
Outstanding. And we're going to get into some of those programs here in a second. You're, again, another one of these. Every week we stumble on a veteran, boots on the ground. Music's not the only thing Scotti Fraser does, folks. I'm going to tell you that right now. The guy, I don't know if he rests. He's like the Santa Claus of the Marine Corps music world, in the fact that he is constantly giving. He's constantly giving of his time. He's constantly creating programs and stuff to help give back, give it forward, and take care of other people. And me and Jonathan got the awesome opportunity to go and see him at Saloon Door outside of Houston last year for one of your kickoff events for the year. And again, you were collecting gifts for people. tell us about one of your programs you're working on.
So, what we're going to do is every year we're going to do a toy drive. A lot of people do a toy drive, so it just seemed fitting. And we were doing a toy drive for when we met for kids of veterans through the Combined Arms Veterans Resource Center, which is a really big Veterans Resource Center in Houston, Texas. It has a number of nonprofits and veteran first responder focused organizations under their roof. This year, what we're going to do in conjunction with my record label, Sargent Records, is I am going to go to Washington State, and I'm going to perform. I'm bringing my guitar, and I'm bringing my family, and we're getting on a plane, and we're going to Washington State, to Orting, Washington, just out of Seattle, and I'm going to do a Christmas show at the Old Soldiers Home, and the Old Soldiers Home is a home where there's over 100 guys and gals that live there. Many are elderly, World War II, Vietnam vets, most of which have nowhere else to go, or family can't take care of them, or they have no family, some of which are on hospice, and it will be their last Christmas, so I'm told. And there's also a section of the Old Soldiers Home where they have these tiny houses where they help guys and gals, veterans that are dealing with addiction recovery. So we are going to go up there. I'm going to perform. I'm getting some of my original Christmas songs, some Elvis Christmas songs, some favorites, and we're going to do some music. And we've started I'm going a little long-winded, but we've started a Amazon shop with a list of essentials for these veterans, and we're going to give out these Christmas gifts while I perform, in conjunction with my man Jordan Adams from the Big Grizz podcast up there, up in the Northwest. So the big thing is the drive to get these gifts. These veterans are not asking for anything luxurious or exorbitant. They're just asking for basic essentials, just some gifts of like scarves and ski hats and toothbrushes and socks, and we just want to do that and bless these guys that have given so much to us.
Outstanding. And I one of your page I'm scrolling through. Go to Scotti Fraser's Facebook page. We'll get that up here in a second. And because I'm not smart enough to get the actual TikTok up here to share that the links to the stuff, and it's all wrapped up in the platform. So we'll get Scotti.
Well, I can tell you right now, if they want to just go to sergeantrecords.com and click on our Operation Help tab, and there are two programs on there. One is Operation Christmas Veteran. That's our Amazon shop. Everything will auto ship to Big Grizz out there to get it to the old soldiers. And there's another one that is Operation Baby that we've had going for a year. And we are supporting teen moms that are pregnant, and some that have just had their babies and facing the stresses and the challenges of being a young mom with a baby, and young families, and some of which have nowhere else to go. And the Anchor Point Resource Center takes them in, helps them, teaches them, gives them a safe space to be and to raise their babies. So those are our two programs, Operation Baby and Operation Christmas Veteran.
What a blessing you are to not just the community, the country, all of us. Thank you, Scotti Fraser, for all the things that you do, and just the amazing giving attitude. And we got to get events, spaces, faces out there in front of people more often to show that it's the giving heart that is actually what's going to bind and put all of our communities together.
Right.
It's not this attacking, finger pointing, all that stuff. And you are just the epitome of the give. So we appreciate you so much for all those things.
Well, thanks a lot for that. I mean, it's just, I have a vehicle to do this with. And, I'm just the guy with the microphone, and I'm trying to find my way home one song at a time. And, it's what we all did in the military, right? We joined to help other people, to help the helpless, to help the weak, to help the needy. And that's why I joined the military. And I just want to continue that mission and just, stay in the fight.
What a blessing. So you lined up, you also have, on top of helping all these people and helping these mothers with their children, you're also playing music, and you put out some special music as of recent, haven't you?
Yes. So Sergeant Records has released our kind of first big release, and it's our Christmas album. It's a compilation album called Christmas with Friends, and it's got 5 different artists on there, most of which this is original Christmas music, and a couple classic covers on there as well. And I've got a couple songs on it, and Tucker Hart is on it, if you remember Tucker.
You remember Tucker well.
Yeah. And we've got Emily Glazner, who's the mom of an active duty Navy sailor. And just wanted to do something to let these folks share their original thoughts on Christmas and kind of put a new little spirit to the Christmas vibe. And then on top of that, I just released my own 4-song Christmas EP with 3 original songs and 1 John Lennon Christmas cover. So,
and I am putting up your Apple account right now so people can go and get a chance. It's the Scotti Fraser Christmas on the Front Line. It's all there. You can get there, grab his stuff, and help a brother out because he's helping everybody else out. That's the way it works.
Yep, teamwork. We're all a team.
Which song do you want to start off with tonight?
Let's do Angel at the Top of My Tree.
Right. Gotta remember where I put that one. That one is because it didn't come with a video, but Angel at the Top of My Tree. This is Scotti Fraser. Angel at the Top of My Tree.
Time again, Uncle Sam don't like to wait, and I can't wait another day. Wherever I may roam, an angel guides me home. So don't forget about me. You're the angel at the top of my tree. So don't forget about me. You're the angel at the top of my tree. Just got away. It's Christmas time again, but that highway just won't wait. And I can't wait another day. Wherever I may roam, an angel guides me home. So don't forget about me. You're the angel at the top of my tree. So don't forget about me. You're the angel at the top of my tree. So here we are, so much farther down the road. to go. It's Christmas time again, but I'm not gonna go. I can't miss another day. Wherever I may roam, you're the angel that guides me home. So don't forget about me. You're the angel at the top of my tree. So don't forget about me. You're the angel at the top. You're the angel at the top. You're my angel at the top of my tree.
That is Scotti Fraser. You're the angel at the top of my tree. When did you start thinking about putting together Christmas music? Because you just don't get to get up in the morning on December 1st and say, I'm going to put out Christmas music.
First off, Gary, you're absolutely right. That is a Hammond B3 organ. My Hammond player would be very happy that you noticed that. So thanks so much. Basically, when you start thinking about it is when it's about 105 degrees in Texas in June. I went into the studio and started recording these songs. So it's funny that you noticed that, but it really happened in summertime, and to have it done in time and all the music done, all the parts, a lot of the instrumentation I play myself as I'm in the studio with my producer and my engineer. So it takes a good amount of time, and then to get it through distribution and get it all up on Spotify and all that. So the Sargent Records compilation, various artists, Christmas album, we started working on that, gathering songs and putting the finishing touches on it in June. It took till about August, September. And then I started doing my Christmas EP about 2 months ago. And Angel at the Top of My Tree, actually, I wrote about 2 weeks ago and got my studio to do a rush job, not a rush job, but to let me come in and have about 4 or 5 nights in a row to go and lay that down. So that one was kind of a new song. But yeah, so you start in summertime.
We've wanted to, because we've built some relationships down in Nashville, and we've been wanting to for a couple of years. Haven't pulled the trigger on it, haven't had the resources to do it. But I think there's probably just a mountain of showcase opportunities for the veteran musicians from across the country to step in and do. And I always thought, yeah, that has to be done in June and July to make that happen. But yeah, to put together a complete collaborative album of America's best heroes hits, it's a dream. We'll keep working on it. We'll try and get something done. And I don't know. I always need an excuse to be in Nashville for no reason whatsoever. That's.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea. I mean, if there's anything I can do to partner with you or to support that mission in any way, please let me know. I would love to donate a song or some time to that. So
tell us, because I've met the people that surround you in your space, and I think it's important that they get a shout out, because I know that they are the glue that holds Scotti Fraser together. And I don't think we're missing on any cues here. So I want to make sure you get that opportunity to do those shout outs real quick.
Definitely my wife is a big part of that. And Jason's been a big part of us starting this up. And while he's not with us in an official capacity right now, he was a big part of starting this up and very essential in that. And I'm just very blessed that Stacia, my wife, has, as a good, military wife, has kind of stepped into that. I like to say I'm the sergeant. She's the first sergeant. But we've got a number of people that, work on the team to help us. Tucker Hart and Rachel Hart. They're really big at, some of the heavy lifting that we do. And Ian and Carol Harris on the volunteer, always running the merchandise stand and making sure things run smooth. And just a rotating list of a few other veteran volunteers that come and go. We're just very, very blessed.
It's again the opportunity we had to be down there, and I know it's been way too long already, and we'd like to figure out more ways to get moving around and be in people's spaces, only because it just, the camaraderie builds and grows, and it's there's never anyone that's not part of the family. It's when we show up and when you show up, and I know Brian Romans was on here doing a Scotti shout out here.
That's my guy right there. Yeah, love that guy.
Yeah, and it's people that are just like compassionate about making a difference, compassionate about their service, about doing something for their community and their country, and they're just all continuing the mission. And there's little pockets of us all over the country, and it's right. Amazing when we get a chance to get together and put our paws on each other. So it's we'll have to figure that out.
Really cool. It was really cool when you and Jonathan came down, and next time we'll get Andrea to come down too. And it's really cool to do this stuff shoulder to shoulder.
Absolutely.
And there's something about when you can shake a hand and hug a neck in person. It's very, very cool. Got a really cool new veteran-owned venue that I've started working with now. That we've got a great stage called. I'll give a little shout out: Indies Coffee Bar and Speakeasy. They do coffee, beer, and wine, and we've got a great stage. And I'm booking all the music for that. And we'll be doing some shows and some things like that. Probably something around spring break, and I will be trying to entice you guys to come down and maybe, do your thing down at our space down there.
That'd be amazing.
Yes.
So,
all for that.
Scotti does such a great job.
On the beach too, may I add? It's 3 blocks from the beach. So.
Oh, no, done deal. Fun country, fly in there.
Scotty's done this so often and does so well. He knows the prompts, and so you've kind of ruined the rest of the show, which is fine. We will get past it, but because we do the who are you, what's next, and then and how can we help and support. And we've already been through all that. So now we're just going to kind of shoot the poo, and we've got 2 more songs left to go. And so what is the next big thing for Scotti Fraser?
The next big thing is like I said, is Washington, flying to Washington. That's going to be a big trip. And, I just did a series of festivals here in Texas and traveled through Texas, and little selfless, shameless, self-promoting. Did some festivals around Veterans Day, which is kind of big for, a guy in my line of work. I've been doing some stuff with the USO down here. And, the next step is to really get on some of those bigger and farther away USO shows. I've done 4 events with the USO on bases down here. Got to play for our troops down at the border and Ellington Air Force Base, and a big Coast Guard event, played for my Coastie families. And that's a big ticket item to me, to serve that way with the USO. But also doing more traveling and doing more of these events. I'd really like to do some of these retreats. I'll give a shout out to America's Mighty Warriors. run by Debbie Lee, who is the Gold Star mom of the first SEAL that was killed in Iraq, Mark Lee. And she puts on a wonderful, wonderful PTSD retreat up in Dallas, Texas, about 6 hours from me. And I've played at their event, done a concert, a dinner concert there 2 years in a row. And I'd like to do more of that stuff. I guess what I'm saying is I want to do more of these retreats, USO stuff, retreats, and more of those things. And even if it means grabbing the acoustic guitar and sitting around the campfire with folks, I love doing that as well. I don't need to be on the big stage all the time. So,
how would you classify your style of music?
I've heard it called country, and I've heard it called rock, and I've heard it called a mix of both. I call it American rock and roll. You know, kind of. It's not, you know, no punches pulled. It's just straight ahead American rock and roll. There's some country and some blues influences in there. Just kind of that Americana kind of vibe. So the back of my t-shirts now say American rock and roll. So maybe we'll go with that.
American rock and roll. That works, man. That works. Which song would you like to go with next?
Do you have the video for Never Surrender?
Yes.
Okay, well, let's go with that one.
Let's go with Never. This is Scotti Fraser with Never Surrender.
I was broken for a while, a drop of blood for every mile I'm on. I took all that they gave and lived to fight another day. But if today is all I get, I'll make my mark and you can bet that I'll never surrender. On this life, and I'll never surrender. On this life, I can't change the past, but I can change how the story turns. 'Cause it's not mistakes that make us, but the lessons learned. Because what doesn't kill me will make me stronger in the end. And I'll never surrender. On this life, and I'll never surrender. On this life, and even if I fall, I'll get back up, standing tall again with a medal on my chest. God knows I've done my best, because what doesn't kill me will make me stronger in the end. And I'll never surrender on this life. 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 On this life.
That is Scotti Fraser, Never Surrender.
Thank you so much. Song about not giving up hope, about staying in the fight and not quitting on life. So
Absolutely. At what stage in your life did you stumble across that lyric, that thought, that concept? Where were you at? What was going on in your life?
it was really, I faced a lot of darkness when I came home. Like I said, I experienced, did, and saw some very, very graphic, visceral things in my time in Iraq. And, the darkness is no stranger really to any of us who face trauma. And, I was having some dark thoughts, and I went in my home studio and I grabbed the guitar at 3:00 in the morning after a nightmare and kind of said a little prayer and just said, I've got to do something for my brothers and sisters that face the same darkness, that family, that team. And it just kind of popped in my head, I will never surrender on this life. I wanted something that people would sing while I'm singing it at a show. And I think when you say something over and over enough, you kind of start believing it. And my hope was that even if someone didn't really feel like staying in the fight, that they would sing that chorus lyric over and over till it would become a mantra and stick in their head. And maybe when hard times come, like that song talks about, they would say, I will never surrender on this life, and just refuse to give up. So that's really the whole thing about that. I just want that song to be a rallying cry against PTSD, against personal suffering, and against, the suicide epidemic. So
I want to ask some personal questions, and by all means, don't, if you feel like you're not ready to answer these questions. So you've had the dark dreams, you've seen the stuff. What does Scotti Fraser do? And the reason why I'm asking this question is because I think the men and women who have been in similar situations like you need to have a pocket full of tools that gets them to the next hour, the next minute, the next day. And
right.
So what does Scotti Fraser do when you stumble on the nastiness of your service?
Well, for me, and it may be different, different for a lot of folks, but for me, it's really the music. I'm blessed to have a space in home where I can go and grab a guitar. If music is somebody's thing, I would implore them to do the same thing. I would say that it doesn't matter how long you've been playing or not playing, or your level of music, whatever your instrument is. I would say to the words of I believe it was Steve Vai, who's a genius guitarist, that someone said, how do I get to be as good as you? And he said, don't try and be as good as me, try and be as good as yourself. So whatever your level is, I would say to go to music and a really good therapy of PTSD is talking about it, and maybe talking about it in a song. Maybe for someone, it's music in the background and writing it out and journaling. Writing poems. They don't even have to rhyme. Just write it out. Get it kind of out of your head. I would say those things. I think all of us that were in service, there's always a couple of those special songs, that remind us of the good times, that remind us of the bad times. And I would say go to the music somehow.
Music is a gigantic feeding source that we have stumbled upon by accident. Just the amazing relationships we've been able to build with the men and women across the country that use music as a tool it's changed my life, to be honest with you, and has entered just a numerous amount of relationships that I get to enjoy. And so, this is my selfishness that why does WP3 or the People's Patriot Project why did you do what we do? Well, we do what we do to find the tools to help others cope with the things that they had to. And it's not just PTSD. There are many other factors in the realms of the men and women who have served our country, military trauma, drug addiction, alcoholism, you name it. And early in the creation of the People's Patriot Project, we had a lot of people in marketing said, well, you need to specialize. And I'm like, we're not specializing. We're specializing in human beings. That's what we're going to specialize. And so having your music, your talent, your missions, and your no stop, slow down attitude has enriched our lives. I'll speak for me, has enriched my life. And I can't tell you how much you're appreciated, Scotti Fraser.
Well, I really appreciate that. That's, I appreciate that. It means a lot. For me, it's not really, this is, I want this to be bigger, my music to be bigger than just me. I want Sergeant Records to be bigger than just me and Stacia. I know she feels the same. These are my songs. I write them. But these are our stories. So it's like, I can't even take ownership of my own music because these are all our stories. I just want this to, I'll sleep when I'm dead, and these songs come to me 3:00 in the morning after these dreams, and I got to get in the studio and get them out and get the story out there, and just share it with other people, and hopefully it brings other people to hope.
You're a blessing, and it is. You're getting the job done. There are people. I don't know that when we were down there, it was last November. We had a young man who was on one of our very first shows who, yes, the jaw-dropping moment will happen. He was a victim of military sexual trauma while in service, and he came to that show down there, and we had never met person to person before, but just the opportunity to meet him at your event, and then the fact that he was just enveloped with passion and love and people that he could trust. And his comments after that event were just like, this is the right place. This is the right space. This is where I need to be. And just seeing the growth from this young man. When we met him, he was sleeping under his vehicle in the driveway of his ex-wife who was living with another man. because that was the only place he could find to stay. And he was ready to end it. I sat on the phone with him for about 4 hours one Memorial Day night, and that's how we met him. And then we put all the things together, and he's good to go. And you're one of the reasons why he's still here, Scotti Fraser.
Well, thank you for that. It's good to be part of the team with you guys, with helping people out. But it's really just about, that just, it warms my heart. It really makes me happy just to know that something that we've put together could be, a safe harbor, a rally point, and maybe we'll use that phrase rally point in something in the future. But, that really makes me really, really happy that you say that people came there and they felt welcomed and loved and appreciated, and it's just a safe place for people to be. And that's the whole idea behind it. We're a team, we're a family, and it's not about me saving something for myself. Like that's the whole thing, what we want to do with this.
That was also the event. You didn't know him from Adam, and BJ Leggett shows up, and you guys met, shook hands, grew, and the next thing we know is BJ Leggett's up on stage playing some of his songs as well.
Yeah, BJ's awesome. We talk all the time, and that was the event that y'all gave me this, my People's Patriot Project guide on, and you presented me with that, and I'm just very, very honored at that, and I've got it right here in the home studio. But like every show I do, and I do about 30 events a year, and every show I do, there's at least one person, whether it's a veteran or otherwise, that comes up to me and says, "Hey man, that song, that line you sang resonated with me, and it kind of gives me hope. That's my song when I was in Afghanistan. That's my story too. And it kind of gives me hope. And it just lets me know that kind of doing something good and kind of in the right place, and, for my brothers and sisters."
Getting up Sergeant Records page up here real quick. Again, listeners, reach out to Sergeant Records. That's where he's got all of his platforms set up for the gives that are going for these events that are coming up. Make sure you help support our brother. He's boots on the ground, getting the job done, and he's in the studio putting in together songs and lyrics and things that help us grow, become better, and get us through the next day. And every time I look at the pictures, you have this unique niche. I don't know. I call it niche, but someone said niche one time. So, I love the America, and again, I don't know a better word to say, but you got the big Gibson out there. You like your old cars. You fly that Marine flag, and you get out there, and I mean, it's all about like grassroots American, like, even the songs talk about, getting your hands dirty and a little spit and blood to get this thing rolling and done. And there's not an artist out there in our network that is like the musician that you are, Scotti.
Well, thank you very much. It's a lot of time. It's a lot of late nights when I go to the studio where I do most of my recording at. It's a lot of late nights away from the family, and not necessarily putting kids to bed, but sun goes down, I'm going to work, going to the studio. But when you say things like that, it really makes it all worth it. And I just hope it helps some people. So, but those Sergeant Records programs, if they go to sergeantrecords.com and click on the Operation Help tab, there are 2 programs on there, and you can click on them. It takes you right to our Amazon store. The gifts will auto ship if you purchase one. If you have the means, if you're able to, I know a lot of people are financially struggling. If you do have the means, that would be wonderful. There's a lot of gifts on there that are like $5, And there are things like socks and ski hats and chapstick and crossword puzzles and things like that. And then on our Operation Baby, that was for Operation Christmas Veteran. And then on the Operation Baby tab, it's just like diapers and wipes and baby rattles and stuff like that. So, but we've tried to make it where there's something in everybody's price point.
Get it done, people. Get it done.
Thank you.
And what do you have? What's our last song you got for us, brother?
I think we were going to, I keep looking at Jonathan's Christmas tree in the background. And you got the Christmas tree next to the colors right there. So awesome. But I think we're going to do, this is the title track off of my 4-song Christmas EP that just came out. And it is called Christmas on the Front Line. The backstory behind it in 60 seconds is that last year at Christmas, I kind of wrote it kind of quick. It kind of came to me and my son said, Dad, you got to record that and put that out for Christmas. Sadly, in December, there just wasn't time to get it done and get it out there that quick. So, in 100-degree heat in the Texas summer, I started recording it. And it's called Christmas on the Front Line. It's kind of an autobiographical song, but it's really about a soldier overseas, maybe in the mountains of Afghanistan as the snow's coming down, and just hoping people don't forget about him, and just the thought of being home at Christmas warms his heart. So for anyone that's away and missing home.
This is Scotti Fraser, Christmas on the Front Line.
It's been a not so silent night in a foxhole on the front line, and I'm wishing on the brightest star I find that I'll make it home for Christmas. So I'll wish for something more, just to live for one day more. And I'll pray as soon as we win this war that I'll make it home for Christmas. I'm wide awake without a sound, and the snow is falling down, and I've got a wish if Saint Nick comes around that I'll make it home for Christmas. So I'll wish for something more, just to live for one day more. And I'll pray I've got your old letters to reread and wish that I was home for Christmas. So I wish for something more, just to live for one day more. And I pray as soon as we win this war that I'll make it home for Christmas. That I'll make it home for Christmas. That I'll make it home for Christmas.
That is Scotti Fraser, Christmas on the Front.
I like that a lot. Here is Frank. Frank, I was just thinking about you again. It's okay if you're late. You're here now. It's all good.
Good to have you here, brother. Anytime, all the time. Boom.
Absolutely. Doug's got a salute for the Scotti Fraser. Boom. Oh, Scotti, you might still be muted. There we go.
That's my guy Macedo right there. How you doing, brother? That's my guy right there.
That's your guy. You know this guy.
My bro. Yep. I know Doug. He's awesome.
Doug's been around. I think Mark's had some big conversations.
Yeah, he's a good dude.
Working it.
Thank you, Frank. Thank you, Frank.
Frank was on a few months ago. He's got some amazing books out there.
Okay.
Yeah. Good guy. Thanks, Frank.
Well, it's that time where we've been through the questions. We've taken Scotti to task. He's answered them. He passes with flying colors. Great job. But during the show, each of us pull out a trinket or have a little something that we have found that inspires us or some food for thought, gives direction. Jonathan does a great job every morning posting something inspirational on a daily. Check out Jonathan Crochet and his messages. He puts them out on the People's Patriot Project sites and pages, and there's always amazing food for thought, and he gets it done pretty religiously every morning. So we always let Jonathan, I almost said Scotti, we always let Jonathan start off our final thoughts segment.
Again, it's been on my mind a little bit to take it to the next level. Would be you can hear me?
Mm-hmm.
No, yeah.
Okay. To take it to the next level would be oftentimes a momentary lapse in judgment, like I said, almost 20 years ago, could have robbed me of the joy of family this weekend. Just, you know what I mean? So I think it's very important to remind people not to make decisions that last longer than the problem. Problems come and go. Everything in life comes and goes. It's a constant cycle. You're always moving forward, whether you're moving with it or not. Life is always moving forward. So let's not make long-term solutions to short-term problems. That's kind of what's on my mind right now.
Outstanding. Scotti Fraser, final thoughts.
And I will say, speak to people who are facing hardship and facing those dark times, that I will tell them that you are not alone. I've definitely faced those and still face those. I'm not a guy that's got it all together. I'm just a broken old warrior trying to find my way home one song at a time. But I will say, if you ever get really that down, look in the mirror, and the face staring back at you is someone who has a 100% record of surviving the bad days. Never quit. I like to say that one day the story of your life might be someone else's survival guide. So I think even in the
we lost your like last 10 seconds, brother.
and leave a legacy. Just that even in those dark moments, I think that we can be an inspiration to others just by standing strong, not quitting. The world is a better place with you in it. Every story in every person makes this world go round, and that's why I write these songs. So, thank you, and everyone watching, because you're my inspiration.
You're a blessing, brother. Miss Eichmann.
Gosh dang it. Scotti, I want to thank you, because your enthusiasm and your commitment to your mission and always tying it into helping others is super inspiring. And your calmness about it right now. I know you have that energy.
I'm ready to, rock it. Yeah.
So yeah, I want to thank you for that. And thank you for sharing it again. It's always awesome to have you on the show and have you share bigger things coming, just always coming from you. And I absolutely love hearing about them in person. I was going to say earlier, even though I wasn't there in person, when the guys were there, they were there, but since then I've come to feel like I was there almost. And I don't know, it's just the vibe that you give off. So thank you very much for that. I was looking at different ways and things to say over the holidays as the civilian in the group. I'm not always sure what to say. If you meet someone deployed, or today I spent time at a nonprofit trade show, and there were a lot of veterans and a lot of families who had lost veterans. That's what you talk about when you're placing wreaths at Fort Snelling. And there never really is the right thing to say. And it just makes it very awkward for a moment. However, there are so many amazing people that you don't have to really say anything. You just say, I'm here with you. I'm here for you. I'm sorry. I'm sure they did amazing things. They did, from my perspective, do amazing things. And so if you run into people over the holidays, I did just Google, and the USO has a lot of ideas as well. They have a big website, just USO, and I think it's .org. And they have good ideas how you can help through the holidays, things you can say, how you could reach out to individuals and groups. And then I just see living is our greatest gift from God, and we need to live it to the fullest. I love it. If I could give that for Christmas, that is what I would love to give.
Outstanding.
Well, Frank is a writer. Imagine that. He knows how to use these words and use them well. And we've got other writers in our network too. We've got poets, we've got novel writers, we've got social media. Jonathan, you're almost you're pretty big time social media writer. We do have coming up next week, we have Patrick Nettersheim. I just want to double check, because we're almost flipping the year over. And yep, Patrick Nettersheim will be joining us. He's got a new program, a new mission now. It's called Music Success. He was a founder of Guitars for Vets, and so he's left, not in any anguish, but to go create something in a broader spectrum of ideas that he had. And I think he's doing amazing. So I can't wait to hear what he's got going on. So he will be the music and the guest next weekend, next Sunday night, at We Got Your 6 at 6. I do want to remind everybody, we've talked about it, but WeP3 Radio, we are working. I think Peterson's working very hard right now to make sure that our radio is the biggest and best place to find music from military veterans, first responders, active duty, and those who support and the families. Music that you will love. Music. You just heard 3 amazing songs tonight, and it's holiday time, so you can't go wrong. This guy over here. And so go check it out. I just put the link up there. It's so easy. I actually drove around with my windows down in the mall parking lot the other day with my WeP3 radio cranking. I clearly should get bigger speakers, but anyway, check it out. It is. I mean, we don't need to be a one and only, but we definitely want to be the one that supports the best that we can support, and bringing that music to everybody that there is out there, in the hopes that that one person who needs to hear the right song at the right moment hears it and knows who to reach out to. So thank you very much, and I'm glad we all survived Thanksgiving. Now we're on our way to the next one. Whew.
Barely.
We've got the Reeds Across America event coming up in 2 weeks, and that is the full focus right now for our world. Make sure, if you're in the Minnesota area, Fort Snelling Cemetery is the 3rd largest national cemetery. I don't know the rankings. I do know with the one in D.C. is the big Arlington. Oh,
Yeah.
If you've never been to Arlington, that is a life-changing moment as well. And
I've been there. It's amazing.
It's crazy. That is the hollowed ground, man. That's where our men and women who have served our country, and again, thank God for the men and women who have served their country. That's it's our pledge. We know why we get to do this. It's because of the men and women who have given from tears to blood to limbs to life, so we can do what we do daily. Scotti gets to play a guitar because of his service and the service of others. I get to sit out here and ramble aimlessly, sharing and trying to find people to create the resources and the structures too. I got an amazing team that comes and helps with that. And so it's not enough. It's not enough. We're not getting the job done. We're kind of getting through it. We're puttering around. We want to do it bigger, better, better. We do want to be the ultimate shock and awe in helping our veterans and first responders, because someone needs to take those reins and needs to get that job done. All of us have a device, and we do this every weekend. Again, I share the frustration. We wait till the end of the show to do this. Maybe we just need to throw it on the front. Get in your text thread, type, "I was just thinking about you," and copy it, and then find 6 people in your contact list to send that message to. If you want to do push-ups to get recognition, do push-ups. If you want to do pull-ups, if you want to go walk 10 miles and do a ruck march, all these things are your way of sending your message and your piece. And the thing is, my question is, I'm not questioning you and your effort. I'm questioning who gets to hear that message. What I do know is when you actively send a text message to someone in your life, they receive that message and they have a thought process through that message. And they get to, and I know that I appreciate getting the message. Mr. Fraser does a really good job at this, to be honest with you. About once a month, I get a message from Mr. Fraser saying, "Hey, just thinking about you. What's going on? How's life? Appreciate you." And he catches me up to speed with his music and all that. He does an amazing job. He's not the only one. He just happens to be on screen right now. And so take those 6 texts and send them out to people that need to hear your voice. Or, it would be tough to just pick up the phone and say, "Hey, I was just thinking about you too." You could do that. But let's start this wave, start this piece, start the process. I do challenge you to do that message with one of those relationships that got sideways at some point, over something petty, something small, something. And I've shared the reason why I do this. I had a gentleman who was a Navy veteran. He was a nuke. He was the best man in my wedding. I was the best man in his wedding. And we let something get in between us, and we stopped communicating. And the next time I got to communicate in any way was at his funeral service, because he let the demons of alcohol take his life. And so that's in part on me. And I don't live with that regret. I mean, I've got some pretty broad shoulders, but it is important. And I share this story because I do get to think about that thought. It was actually today, 2 years ago. And so, oddly enough, we are thinking about you. I couldn't figure out why his brother did a post, and I'm just like, oh, okay, I see it now, and I get it, I remember, and it has and does impact my life, only in the fact that all I had to do was reach out to him. I'm not saying it would have saved him, but what I do know is that he would have known he had someone in his corner. He would have known that someone was in his life, cared about him, and I think all of us enjoy that opportunity of knowing that someone cares about us. So do those text messages. It's too easy. And that's where we're at. We got this. Come see us tomorrow at 4:30. We're back on doing our little thing because we make today about our boots on the ground organizations and our musicians. Tomorrow at 4:30, we make it about WP3 and what we are getting done and where our mission is taking us and how you can be part of it. And there is a piece where we need more people in our network. We need more. The job's not done. I started a little writing piece yesterday because Giving Tuesday is this Tuesday, and we're looking for the resources. And we can't get the job done without the support of all the people that come and check us out. So with that said, we appreciate you. And we will see you next Sunday at We Got Your 6 at 6. We will see you. Patriot Pride.